Before we settle in tonight, make sure to subscribe to Dogaholic. Give this video a like, and tell me in the comments where your dog sleeps every night. Right beside you, curled at your feet, stretched across your pillow, or completely upside down like they own the place. Around here, every habit means something, and sometimes the sweetest routines hide the deepest messages. So if your dog sleeps with you, stay with me, because what looks like a simple bedtime habit may actually be one of the oldest love stories in human history. It's 2 a.m. Out here on the homestead, the world has gone quiet, the only sound being the wind through the pines and the soft rhythmic thumping of a tail against your mattress. The day's work is done. The porch light has long been switched off. The floorboards have stopped creaking. Even the air feels settled, heavy with that deep midnight stillness that only comes when the whole world seems to exhale at once. And then you feel it, that familiar weight at your legs, the slow circling, the long, contented sigh, and finally your dog settling in as if there were never any question where they belonged. Your dog has a perfectly good plush bed of their own in the other room, maybe even an expensive orthopedic one that promised better support than your own mattress. And yet, here they are, nosing under your arm, pressing their back against your hip, or somehow managing to claim exactly 80% of the blankets while leaving you with just enough room to keep your toes from freezing. Night after night, they make the same choice. Out of all the safe corners in your home, out of every soft surface available, they choose your bed. They choose your scent. They choose your breathing, your warmth, your presence. Most folks assume it's just about warmth or habit. Maybe you've even had a well-meaning neighbor tell you that letting them on the bed is a dominance issue. Maybe someone has warned you that your dog is spoiled, clingy, or trying to run the household. But as someone who has spent years studying the intricate dance of canine behavior and the deep-rooted psychology of the human-dog bond, I can tell you, what's happening in that moment is one of the most complex, beautiful, and ancient expressions of trust on this planet. Tonight we're going to step into the den and decode the hidden messages your dog is sending you when they choose to close their eyes beside you. This isn't just about sleep hygiene, bedtime routine, or who gets the blanket. It's about instinct, attachment, vulnerability, safety, co-regulation, and a 15,000-year-old alliance written not only into history, but into the nervous systems of both species. Because when your dog sleeps near you, something deeper is happening than most people ever realize. The 15,000-year-old sleepover, it's in the blood. To understand why your Labrador, your little terrier, your shepherd mix, or your rescue mutt wants to be your pillow, we have to look back to the campfire. Long before we had central heating, memory foam, electric blankets, or deadbolts on our doors, we had dogs. And we had what many cultures understood in a very literal way: the 3-dog night. This wasn't just a catchy band name from the 70s. It was a survival strategy used by indigenous peoples in brutally cold environments. On freezing nights, 1 dog meant some warmth. 2 dogs meant better odds. 3 dogs meant you'd probably make it until morning. That image matters. Not because your modern dog is thinking consciously about ancient winter survival, but because behavior leaves echoes. Dogs are the only animals that chose us before we even invented farming. Before fences, before cities, before the comfort of settled life. Somewhere in the long twilight between wolf and dog, certain animals began moving toward human firelight instead of away from it. And over thousands of years, the ones that stayed closest to us were shaped by that closeness. While wolves are built to be wary, your dog carries unique genetic markers, especially changes associated with hypersociability and unusual comfort around humans, that make them remarkably tuned to our presence. They were not merely trained to live beside us. They were shaped by evolution to seek us out, read us, depend on us, and rest near us. So when your dog climbs onto your bed, they aren't simply seeking a softer mattress. They are reclaiming their ancient place in the pack pile. And in the wild, sleep is no small thing. Sleep is risk. Sleep is surrender. Sleep is the moment an animal becomes most vulnerable to predators, weather, and surprise. So when your dog chooses to sleep with their back pressed against yours, or settles at your feet facing the bedroom door, or wedges themselves into the curve behind your knees, they are doing something profoundly meaningful. They are saying, in the oldest language they have, I trust you enough to become vulnerable here. And while you rest, I will rest beside you. Some dogs even position themselves in ways that suggest a kind of quiet guard duty. Not because they are standing watch every second, but because bonded sleep often carries a shared protective instinct. It becomes a symbiotic guard, your dog trusting your presence enough to sleep deeply while also placing themselves close enough to alert if something changes. It is companionship, but it is also ancient strategy softened by love, the chemistry of the cuddle loop. Now I want to pull back the curtain on the hidden science that makes co-sleeping feel so restorative, even when your dog is snoring like a freight train and kicking you in their dreams. It's not just in your head. It's in your blood, your hormones, and your nervous system. Researchers at Azabu University in Japan found something remarkable. When dogs and their owners share affectionate eye contact, both experience a measurable rise in oxytocin, often called the love hormone or bonding chemical. This is the same hormone deeply involved in maternal bonding between a mother and her newborn baby. That alone tells you something extraordinary about the human-dog relationship. This is not a shallow companionship. It is biologically reinforced attachment. Now think about what that means over the course of an entire night. If a few minutes of petting and closeness can help reduce cortisol, the body's stress hormone, then hours of shared rest may create a powerful emotional feedback loop. Your oxytocin rises, helping your body feel safer and calmer. Your dog senses that calm. Their own nervous system settles. That calmness draws them closer. Their closeness soothes you even more. Back and forth it goes like a silent, biological conversation between two bonded beings. That is the cuddle loop. Not a cute metaphor, but a real pattern of mutual regulation. A living, breathing feedback system made of warmth, scent, touch, memory, and trust. It helps explain why people often say, I know my dog moves around, but somehow I still sleep better with them near me. Because in one very real sense, your dog is not just beside you. They are helping your body feel less alone, decoding the HRV, 2 hearts, 1 rhythm. And here's where it becomes even more profound. Heart rate variability, or HRV, is one of the best measures we have of how flexibly the nervous system handles stress. A healthier, more relaxed nervous system tends to show more adaptive variability. A stressed, overloaded body tends to become more rigid. Recent research has suggested that bonded dogs and owners can begin to show signs of physiological synchronization during periods of rest. In simple terms, their bodies begin to influence one another. If you are calm, your dog often calms with you. If your dog is peaceful and deeply settled, that state can help bring your own system down out of subtle vigilance. Two nervous systems begin, in a sense, to entrain. That doesn't happen with just anyone. It happens most powerfully in bonded pairs. Which means that when you sleep beside your dog, you are not just two creatures sharing a mattress. You are two bodies exchanging cues of safety all night long. Your dog is reading your breath, your tension, your movement, your stillness. And you, whether you realize it or not, are reading theirs too. That is why the presence of a beloved dog can feel so grounding. It is not sentimental nonsense. It is embodied connection. The secret language of the secure base. Many owners feel guilty, like they're somehow spoiling their dog by letting them onto the bed. But attachment science tells a far more nuanced story. Adaptations of attachment-based testing have shown that many dogs relate to their owners in ways strongly resembling secure attachment. In that framework, the owner becomes a secure base, a place of confidence, stability, and safe return. That matters at night more than almost any other time of day. Because bedtime strips away distraction. There are no toys, no errands, no visitors, no stimulation to mask what your dog truly seeks when the world goes still. And for many dogs, what they seek is proximity to their person. Your bed is more than a bed to them. It is a scent hub. It is saturated with the smell of the person they trust most. It is the emotional center of the home. That's why a Velcro dog who absolutely must touch you to fall asleep may be showing both deep devotion and a need for emotional regulation. They are not simply being needy. They may be using your presence as a living security blanket. On the other hand, If your dog starts the night near your chest or legs and later moves to the foot of the bed or the cool floor, that is not rejection. In many cases, it is actually a sign of confidence. A confident dog knows the bond remains intact even with a little distance. They can cool down, stretch out, or change sleep spots without feeling disconnected from the pack. Objective data versus subjective peace. The Mayo Clinic mystery. I often hear people say, I know I'd probably sleep better if the dog were on the floor, but I just can't bring myself to do it. And objectively, there is some truth there. Dogs do disturb human sleep. They reposition, they dream run, they snore, they sprawl diagonally with unreasonable confidence. Clinical sleep studies have shown that humans can experience small reductions in sleep efficiency when dogs share the bed. But here's what makes this fascinating. Many owners still report feeling more rested, more secure, and more emotionally comforted when their dog is nearby. Why? Because restorative sleep is not just about the absence of interruption. It is about the presence of safety, and those are not the same thing. For the human brain, especially the ancient parts of it, complete isolation in the dark is not always interpreted as ideal. Sometimes it is interpreted as exposure, vulnerability, aloneness. A trusted, warm, breathing companion changes that equation. Your dog can become a signal to the nervous system that the night is safe enough to surrender to, and the same appears to be true in reverse. Dogs themselves often fall asleep faster and rest more deeply when their owner is nearby. In other words, we are not only comforted by them, they are comforted by us, decoding the hidden messages in sleep positions. As a behaviorist, I look at sleep positions as a kind of daily health report. Your dog is talking even when they're unconscious. The belly up, or the dead bug. This is the gold medal of canine confidence. The belly is vulnerable. The internal organs are exposed. The dog is essentially saying, I have no fear here. It can also help them cool down. Hidden message, I feel safe enough to be completely defenseless in this home. The lion's pose or the sphinx. Belly down, paws forward, head up, or half lowered. This is rest without total surrender. Hidden message, I'm resting but I'm not fully switching off. If your dog sleeps like this all night, it may suggest mild overstimulation, alertness, or difficulty fully relaxing. The donut, curled tightly with tail tucked near the body. This protects vital organs and conserves warmth. Hidden message, I want comfort, protection, or a little extra security. If your normally sprawled out dog suddenly shifts into a tight donut, check the room temperature, or ask whether something in the household has changed. The head proper. Head elevated on a pillow, rolled blanket, or mattress edge. Often adorable, sometimes practical. Hidden message. This feels comfortable, but in senior dogs or flat-faced breeds, frequent head propping can also hint that elevation makes breathing easier. Each of these positions tells you something. Not everything, not with absolute certainty, but enough to pay attention. Sleep is where the body stops pretending. When the nightly ritual changes. The warning sign. This may be the most important thing I tell you today. Dogs are creatures of ritual, rhythm, and pattern. So if your dog has slept by your side for years and suddenly chooses the floor, the hallway, the closet, or a different room altogether, do not brush it. Do not brush it off. Behavior is their first language, and often it is their only language. A change in sleep location can be one of the earliest indicators that something is wrong. Maybe jumping onto the bed has started to hurt. Maybe arthritis is creeping in long before you notice a limp. Maybe they are overheating more easily. Maybe their sleep-wake rhythm is changing with age. In older dogs, nighttime restlessness can sometimes be associated with canine cognitive dysfunction, the dog equivalent of dementia, which can lead to confusion, pacing, and sundowning behaviors after dark. So, if the ritual changes, listen. A dog who changes their bedtime habits is often sending a message long before they cry, whimper, or visibly struggle. Their sleep choices can become one of the earliest windows into pain, aging, discomfort, or emotional distress, setting the homestead rules for a healthy bed. If you decide that the benefits of co-sleeping outweigh the occasional midnight kick to the ribs, then it helps to create healthy rules around it. Let your dog come up by invitation, not by entitlement. That keeps the routine structured and helps reduce the chance of resource guarding. Add a washable dog blanket or top sheet to catch fur, dander, and outdoor dirt more easily. Keep a comfortable dog bed right next to yours, as an alternative den, especially for warm nights or restless sleepers. And if anyone in the household has severe allergies, a weakened immune system, or health concerns, it may be wiser to keep the dog in the room, but off the mattress itself. The goal is not perfection. The goal is a sleep arrangement that preserves both the bond and the health of everyone involved. Final thoughts: the sacredness of the snore. The next time you wake up at 3 a.m. with dog hair on your sheets, one hip hanging off the mattress, and the steady rise and fall of your dog's breathing pressed against your side, take a moment to really feel what that means. You are not just looking at a pet. You are looking at a creature that, out of all the soft corners, rugs, beds, couches, and quiet spaces in your home, chose you as their safest place in the world. That choice is ancient. It is biological. It is emotional. It is protective. It is intimate in the purest sense of the word. Through firelit camps, frozen nights, barn floors, cabins, porches, and modern bedrooms, dogs have remained what they have always been for us: guardians, companions, mirrors, and safe havens with beating hearts. And maybe that is why this nightly ritual feels so powerful. Because somewhere deep down, both of you still remember what it means not to sleep alone. If this video helped you understand your dog in a deeper way, subscribe to Dogaholic for more videos on dog psychology, hidden canine behavior, emotional bonding, and the everyday habits that reveal what your dog is truly feeling. Leave a like if your dog sleeps in your room, and drop a comment below telling me your dog's favorite sleep position and whether it has changed with age. I read every comment, and your story may help another dog owner understand their own best friend a little better. Until next time, keep those tails wagging, stay close to your pack, and sleep tight.